Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
My name is Michael President Anderson. My friends call me Prez.
I am Darryl Finkton Jr.
I'm the CEO and founder of Impact Solutions.
I started the End Poverty, Make Trillions movement because I believe that in 2021 we're going to eradicate poverty.
There's nothing left to say. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
I care about poverty because I grew up in it, you know. And when you grow up poor, you don't think about anything else but being poor because you don't have the freedom or the time to think about anything else but being poor, you know. And I saw everybody around me, their whole lives were dictated by having nothing, you know. And kind of like Kanye always says, you know, having money is not everything, not having it is. And so, you know, now that I've got it, it's like, how do I help everybody else get it?
Shout out to the Nation of Islam, blessing these people in Houston, Texas, giving away food to families that need it, being a blessing, being service and action, doing God's work.
What I love about stuff like this is it's a good opportunity to break the myth of the black men aren't present in their community. You know, let's look around and see all the young black men, black women who are here working to do something and trying to make a difference, and they're giving out food, and I love what they're doing. And what we're just trying to figure out is that as opposed to having to just give out food, why can't we give people some money so they can go buy some food, you know? But until we get that done, you know, I'm really happy to see people out here doing this work.
I just know what it's like to miss meals. I know what it's like to lose people that you care about for avoidable realities, which all, you know, has something to do with these generational inequities that's prevalent in our communities. And I need to use my life to create solutions, not just for myself and for my family, but God didn't pick me to have no small or ordinary testimony. God picked me to change the paradigm and to forever shift and to build that kingdom on earth here. And I feel like a lot of the struggling and a lot of the issues that we have are avoidable if, you know, people that have the insight just lead and just serve.
You got to try not to judge us all for it, but you know, and I've been guilty of it too the majority of my life. But we just get taught to pretend like homeless people don't exist, you know. And the minute you kind of break free of that mentality and you start having conversations, your mind is blown because you just realize that they're just people who have some bad luck, you know. And the majority of the dudes we talked to just now were veterans, you know, so they fought for this country, and we just abandoned them.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. There's nothing left to say. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
Are you rolling?
I'm rolling.
My name is Tommy Ray Waltrip.
And my name is Donald Ray Robinson. This is my real brother from another mother.
Majority of people out here got mental problems, you know, and it's hard to get housed, and sometimes going through these shelters is just as worse.
All right, can I ask you a question?
Yes, you may, sir.
So we just talked about a universal basic income, right?
Right.
So if you had a universal basic income, what would you do?
I would try to save it up and put me and my common law wife back into the environment that I came from.
And what is that?
In a house, you know, with the yard and the garage, and live happily ever after.
So if you had $13,000 a year, what would you do?
I would live on it.
Yeah, of course I would live
I
on it.
don't do drugs.
Yeah, I would live on it, of course. Yeah, just give me some beers, some cigarettes, and let me cook my own food.
Yeah, I stopped
miss
eating
that stuff.
again, man.
Being out here cooking my own food. Everybody, you know, bring them cold sandwiches to my, you know, that stuff, man. Come on, man.
Man, you get burned out on that stuff, man.
McDonald's and all that. And I would never see a Domino pizza in my life. I never want to see one.
So, like we talked about before, the universal basic income, you'd make about $1,100 a month. What would you do with that? How would that change your life?
That would get me an apartment, get me off the street. Yeah, that would put food on my table, you know. I'm tired of sitting at having to carry a sign on a street corner and beg people for money. It's beyond embarrassing, you know. I mean, there's not really much that embarrasses me at this point, to be honest. But the shame level of doing stuff like that, of begging people for money, is disheartening. Like, that's the word I would use.
Right next to the Astro Stadium. How do we have a society where we have people who make millions of dollars every year, and we have people who live outside?
You know, I set a goal for myself. You know, I wanted to get to being a millionaire by a certain time period, and then I did that. And so once I hit that, I said, you know, I've proved everything I need to prove. I know how to make money. Now let me go do what I love, you know. And what I love is figuring out how to bring my people up, you know. And I'm an American, so when I think about my people, I think about everybody who went through that struggle that I went through. And I think that's a diverse group of people. You know, it's white, black, brown, Catholic, Baptist, you know, atheist. And so everybody who's struggling and been told their whole lives that they deserve to be poor, you know, I'm doing this for them.
So we're headed to the Black store where they have a community garden, and just wanting to connect with these individuals who are dedicated to ending poverty and as a way of becoming self-sufficient and growing our own foods. And so we'll be meeting with the community organizers here, as well as the leader, Lloyd Ford.
Yeah, but let us know a little bit more about the garden.
So, I mean, this is just a small representation of what we want to do on a large scale. This is kind of what we just do as training, as people, just a community engagement on Saturdays from 11 to 3. But, you know, we don't expect this to feed nobody. So it just want to be a small representation of us getting a couple acres and really having our own food agriculture system. We just always trying to do stuff on a small scale, show people how we can do it, monetize it, and, you know, be big on economics. So I love it.
I care about this issue because I'm a father of a beautiful 15-month-old daughter, Grayson Trinity Michelle Anderson, and the world at what she will inherit, serve, lead, needs to be more egalitarian. It's been way too hard for me to get where I am, and I know that it was previously inaccessible and impossible for any generation, especially of black people, to accomplish some of the things we've been able to accomplish. But I know that our government and these institutions that we pay into, they have the power and they have the resources, and more importantly, we have the power and we have the resources. And people bled and people died for hundreds of years for me to have this opportunity, and I refuse to not give everything in me to make it better for my children's children and our children's children.
We're trying to build a movement, you know, we're trying to build a grassroots movement, and we're trying to build a revolution. And so the first thing you can do is just understand what we're doing. And so read the plan, you know, endpovertymaketrillions.com. It's a 20-page document that you need to read to understand how to eradicate poverty and get involved with the movement, you know. And for people that won't spend 20 pages of reading to answer that question, then it's not for you. But for everybody else who does, read it, and then afterwards, share it with somebody else who wants to learn how to get rid of poverty. And let's build a team, let's build an army together. And then once we have that army, the goal is, let's get out here and use hashtag #EndPovertyMakeTrillions, let's use hashtag #ShareTheWealth to make sure that the world knows that if we had a universal basic income at the federal poverty guidelines, we'd use that money to improve our lives.
There's nothing left to say. Hallelujah. 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 There's nothing left to say. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.